Another very interesting aspect of the strategic cooperation is Kazakhstan's role as a supplier of uranium.
Yes.
And the current agreement is valid till 2019. Now there are reports that it is going to be extended and possibly the supply will increase.
Yes, we have discussions with Indian counterparts in this area. Myself, I had meetings with atomic energy company. As to my information, things moving positively.
Sure.
It will take some time, and we have time to discuss the agreement. 2003 until 2014, we used to have 3,000 tons. Yes. In 2015, during the visit of Prime Minister Modi to Kazakhstan, it was a contract signed for 5,000, and now we are discussing 7,500 and more.
Maybe more.
And maybe more, yes. And positively moving issues, and I hope that soon we could...
So that means Kazakhstan will continue to be still the largest supplier of uranium.
You know, Kazakhstan is the largest producer of uranium in the world.
Yes.
So that's why not only for India, we are the largest producer, having the second largest reserves of uranium in the world.
Are you also looking at other cooperation in atomic areas like nuclear medicine?
Yes, this year it was our proposal, and the Indian side agreed. We now negotiate some kind of agreement in applicable areas of, because both countries we have experience, both countries we have knowledge, and we could use it in some other area.
What has happened recently in the region, in Sri Lanka, we saw an attack which was totally unexpected. I mean, this is not a country that has been associated with Islamic extremism. Extremism is something that has been a concern for your country also. I mean, most of the countries in Central Asian region, also our country. Is there ways that we could cooperate on these kind of issues?
Yes, you know that for me, I accredited as an ambassador to Sri Lanka too, and at the end of March I was there a few weeks ago, and I stayed in this hotel, Kingsbury Hotel. So for me, it's real things. I could understand what happened there. What is the damage to Sri Lanka? Many people died. Our president, Mr. Tokayev, he immediately the same day he made a statement. He sent his condolences to the people of Sri Lanka, and we support people of Sri Lanka in such a difficult situation, a difficult time. For us, terrorism is also a threat. It's a global threat. It's a global challenge, unfortunately, for the moment. And we are very active internationally on this level. We initiated in the United Nations the Code of Conduct against terrorism and so on. And already many countries signed it and even ratified it. This is an initiative of Kazakhstan to accept some kind of code, how we should move and do it internationally. Because in some countries there are some organizations named terrorist. In some others, the other one, we should unify. We should understand who are the terrorists, who are not, and for all the countries should be same approach.
Sure.
That's why this is our initiative.
Would you also be thinking about intelligence sharing with
yes,
countries like
we,
India?
you know, just in March we conducted the consultations between our two security councils. So that's why we discussed all these issues.
Sure.
This is second consultations. Third, 2 years ago we had in Astana, and now in Delhi, and they agreed to meet each other twice a year.
Sure.
because it was a big gap between the first consultations and the second, and then between second 2 years. So that's the world changing quickly.
Sure. How seriously do you take the threat of a group like Islamic State, which is very different from other organizations, because now they don't even need to set up a, sort of a branch or affiliate in a country. I mean, they're doing things over the online,
You know that a few years ago, we had some accidents, terrorist attacks, some other things, and our government taking this very seriously. And even in Kazakhstan, from some point of view, economically we are doing well, and so on. And there is usually say that terrorism always there, which is economically some background, poor people and so. But we don't have this in such a way. But still, Kazakhstan is attraction because rich country and so on. It's developing, very quickly developing country. That's why it's a challenge for us, and we understand it. That's why even in the United Nations we raised this issue as a member of the Security Council. We used to be also. We raised these issues, and our position. It's we are against any kind of terrorism.
There's also a lot of defense cooperation that has happened over the years. I mean, both our countries have a history of using Russian origin equipment. There is, of course, now more talk of visits, exercises.
Yes, now I think that from the last year, many things changed in this military technical cooperations. There were several visits from our side, from Indian side. It was a Minister of Defense visit last year to Kazakhstan. And as you've mentioned, we started last year for the first time. We carried out common military exercise on the company level in Kazakhstan. We called it Kazint. This year it will happen in India. And as I said, we sent a peacekeeping unit to Lebanon together with Indian Army battalion. And also some other cooperation happens on this level, exchange of students. Our students participating at some training programs provided by Indian Army. So everything is growing, I mean, in this area. And the new area, of course, it's a technical cooperation. And Indian side proposed during the visit of Minister of Defense of India to Kazakhstan to consider to set up some joint ventures for maintenance of spare parts and maybe the production of the spare parts. Because in Kazakhstan we have many equipment of Soviet origin, Russian origin, like in India, and in some areas we have some experience for the maintenance and replacement, and in India maybe bigger experience than Kazakhstan. So we could join our efforts in these areas, and we will do it. Sure. This is logically it's pushing us.
Also coming back, there has been a lot of talk about, Iran has shown a lot of interest in using Chabahar to link up with the Central Asian countries.
This project was initiated by our president, Nursultan Nazarbayev, many years ago, and we convinced the Turkmenistan government and then Iranian government to start up this project. In 2014, December, this project was completed, railway project from Caspian Sea Port Aktau in Kazakhstan to Bandar Abbas. It's 2,300 kilometers route. Actually, for the train, it's about 2 days. It's a very short distance. And from that time, we started to work with our partners in India. And for the moment we have understanding, and soon we will hold the first meeting of newly created special working group on transport and logistics. And actually, when we are talking about economic relations, there are two parts of economic relations. First, trade, and second, investments. Trade, we have $1.2 billion last year. It's the largest trade in the region with India. Even more than all overall trade of Central Asian countries with India, twice maybe. But still, this is not enough, because we could do it. We could do more in this area, because we still demand many items from India from Kazakhstan, and the main obstacle is transportation. Logistics, yes, because it makes the goods not competitive prices of the goods. That's why this North-South Corridor is very important for us and India to transport the goods. And if we will do something in this area, our proposal was to create a consortium, because we had such an experience with China before. For example, from Western China to Germany, it took 23 days to deliver the goods, and the container cost was 7,000. After we created the consortium, time was 13 days and $3,000 per container. So that's why if we will discuss and consider to create the consortium, it will help us. Even India-Kazakhstan could start, and then the rest could join for it. And there is understanding with the Ministry of Commerce of India. We will discuss it during this special working group. We are talking not only about Kazakh and Indian relations. Kazakhstan could be a hub for several things for India, because, for example, fintech, high-tech, we are more advanced in the area, and we already started these programs. For example, you have Digital India, we have Digital Kazakhstan program, and many common things. Maybe you are more advanced in some areas, we are more advanced in the others. So, but still, we are the only one country in the region which for the moment could start with India all these projects. And India could become, for India, Kazakhstan could become a hub. Yes, IT hub, fintech hub, and some other. And when we are talking about this North-South Corridor, it's not about the trade only between Kazakhstan and India and Turkmenistan and India. It's through this route to the west and to the east. It's a transit hub.
Ambassador, thank you so much for your time.